Cornelius Vanderbilt, also known as Commodore Vanderbilt, was born in Staten Island, New York in 1794. He was the son of a poor farmer, and at the age of 16, he began his career as a ferry boat operator, running cargo and passengers between Staten Island and Manhattan. He quickly showed an aptitude for business and began to expand his operations, adding more boats and routes. Through hard work and determination, Vanderbilt built a successful transportation empire, even moving into steamships and eventually railroads. He is known for his aggressive business tactics and willingness to take risks. He was not afraid to invest large sums of money in new technologies and ventures. His aggressive expansion made him one of the wealthiest men in the country. In the 1850s, Vanderbilt turned his attention to the railroad industry, seeing it as the future of transportation. And he was right. He bought controlling interests in several railroad companies, and through a series of shrewd business deals and acquisitions, he built a vast network of railroads that spanned the country. Vanderbilt's success in the railroad industry was incredible, and he soon became one of the wealthiest men in America. His fortune was estimated to be worth over $100 million in today's dollars, making him one of the wealthiest men in American history. Despite his humble beginnings, Vanderbilt's rise to the top of the business world is a testament to the power of hard work and determination. He went from a poor farmer's son to one of the most successful and powerful businessmen in the country, leaving a lasting impact as one of the greatest of American capitalism. But not all idolize him as a great leader of American capitalism. Cornelius Vanderbilt's rise to the top of the business world was fueled by aggressive and ruthless business tactics. He was known for his willingness to do whatever it takes to gain an advantage over his competitors. One of his most notable tactics was using his vast wealth to buy controlling interests in rival companies. By acquiring a majority stake in these companies, Vanderbilt was able to dictate their operations and force them to comply with his business objectives. He also used his financial power to drive smaller competitors out of business completely. Vanderbilt was known for undercutting prices, making it difficult for smaller companies to compete. He would also use his control over railroads to give preferential treatment to his own businesses, effectively cutting off his competitors from vital transportation routes. Vanderbilt's monopolistic practices also drew the ire of the public and government officials. He was accused of manipulating prices to benefit himself and his businesses, leading to legal battles and antitrust investigations. Despite his ruthless and questionable tactics, Vanderbilt's business acumen and financial power allowed him to dominate the transportation industry and amass a fortune that made him one of the wealthiest men in American history. However, his monopolistic practices and desire to control the industry, as we mentioned before, ultimately led to his downfall and legal troubles. He ended up facing numerous investigations and court cases brought by the government and rival companies. In the late 1800s, the government began to take action against Vanderbilt and the monopolies he controlled. The Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890, which aimed to break up monopolies, was used to bring charges against Vanderbilt and his companies. The Supreme Court ultimately ordered the dissolution of several of his railroad companies, including the New York Central Railroad. Vanderbilt was also sued by rival companies and individuals for anti-competitive practices, such as cutting off their access to transportation routes and undercutting prices. These legal battles resulted in significant financial losses for Vanderbilt and greatly reduced his fortune. Despite his immense wealth, Vanderbilt was unable to use it to fully defend himself or his companies for the legal troubles, and his reputation was greatly damaged by the court cases and negative publicity. The legal troubles faced by Cornelius Vanderbilt were a direct result of his monopolistic practices and ruthless business tactics. His story serves as a cautionary tale of the dangers of monopolies and the need for government regulation to prevent the concentration of too much power in the hands of a few individuals.